Hey folks, welcome to the Vendor Spotlight for our Des Moines New Age and Psychic Fair Spring Equinox edition coming up next weekend, March 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Well, Earl is going to be our DJ slash guest lecture announcer slash whole bunch of other stuff, and you guys all got to come by and see him and sign his guest book. So Earl, I put up stuff in the description, but tell the people about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Earl Williams. I'm up in
You're coming through soft.
Oh,
Gotta turn that up a little.
that should be better.
Yep, we're good.
Okie dokie. My name is Earl Williams. I am the founder and owner of Pagan Artist Spotlight up in Waterloo, Iowa. Pagan Artist Spotlight is a podcast format. I have been in the DJ entertainment podcast world, including internet radio, for a good many years.
Okay.
And came into the pagan community back in 2003 when I was up in Minnesota.
Ooh.
So I have been at this a long time. And with being in the music entertainment industry, I felt that I needed to do something to give back to the community. So what I decided to do is to help support and promote all of our pagan musicians in the community. And I have been doing this for a good many years, developed friendships along the way, a lot of connections, both here in the States and also way over in the UK as far as Finland.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So I have done a lot. And I'm now trying my hand at doing tarot readings as well. Back, what was it, last year?
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah. I was sent a box of books by Llewellyn.
Mm-hmm.
My buddies up there at Llewellyn in Minneapolis, they sent me a box of books. And right there on top was a brand new tarot deck.
Yep.
And this was a dragon tarot that had not been released yet.
Yeah.
It was totally new, not even been released. And I'm like, okay, what are you guys trying to tell me here? So
good with it. I know some of our audience knows you from the Thursday night psychic roundtables.
Mm-hmm.
And I have you pull cards for that and stuff like that, and you're really good about it. So I think it's going to be fun to watch you do readings.
Yeah, like I said, I'm still learning because this isn't your normal tarot deck. This is totally totally different because this is with it being a dragon tarot, it has different meanings, and I'm still having to read over everything and keep reading the book that comes with it, because when you wind up coming up with a card in reverse, it does not give you the reverse of it.
Right. No, and I've had decks like that.
You really use your own senses and judgment as to what that card is meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I've had multiple decks over the years, and dragon ones, they always have their own special energy. Each deck does,
Mm-hmm.
But dragon ones, they just have their own special energy. And I wasn't a big fan of dragons originally. I'm more of a unicorn person. But, no, they have their own unique energy.
Mm-hmm.
And they really are more for somebody. With dragon decks, I always say they're more for somebody that needs to use their intuition over reading the book.
Yep. And I know several people who live in the dragon realm. And yeah, they're off in their own little world, man.
I bet. it's like, ooh, I'm getting feedback. Hang on.
But I will also say that as of late, I've had to make some decisions as of late, and I've kind of reverted back to my personal profile on Facebook that deals more into the Native American side of me.
Okay.
Because I do have connections to Native American heritage, and that being the Karankawa tribe, otherwise known as Tonkawa. My great grandfather served as the chief in the 1800s.
Wow.
And I discovered this back in 2007, and I have followed that respect, and I've followed the traditions ever since. And I will say that it has become a very strong part of me.
Okay, that's awesome. That's good that you can go back and get in touch with everything.
Mm-hmm. I felt that I had to, that I needed to take a break from a lot of things, including foregoing the wedding season this year.
That's crazy. Are you going to be okay doing that financially? Yeah, I was going to say.
It's going to be interesting. But I am focusing now more on the podcasting side because I am making contact with a lot of musicians, singer-songwriters, and bands here in the Midwest who I am helping to support and promote as well.
Okay.
And they're sending me their CDs and whatnot, and so it's that's
now,
part.
Do you have a music channel? All music?
Not so to say, no. I have developed a SoundCloud for my voiceovers that I've created.
The other thing I wanted to mention, if you could get permission from those artists, why don't you open up a Spotify channel and just play their stuff?
That could be done.
Or if you wanted to get a start, just send me the stuff and I'll put it on the Des Moines New Age Radio Spotify.
Okay, that can be done too. Yeah, because
but you got to get all their permissions in case anybody gets wonky.
I have to.
Oh my God! You used my stuff. Okay, literally, we're not making any money off of this, and you just sold 30 CDs.
Yeah,
but
the weird thing about, because the ones that I am helping to support and promote are all independent artists.
Yep.
And a lot of the artists that I'm coming across now, they are all in, I don't know what it is about this year, but they are all doing a free giveaway.
Nice.
On one of their CDs. And all you have to do is pay for shipping and handling.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So they are all on the bandwagon of doing a free giveaway.
Okay.
Of
awesome.
One of their physical CDs. And I believe it's all because they are wanting to go away from streaming. They're flat out asking people to get away from streaming. They're encouraging people to get back to buying physical CDs and vinyl albums.
Well, the problem is that makes it tougher because a lot of people don't even have the stuff to play that anymore.
Yeah, I know. And that does make it tough. There are ways of doing this. I mean, there are, you can buy CD decks, CD combination cassette decks at Goodwill nowadays.
Yeah, I know, right?
For cheap.
Do you remember how much those used to be?
Oh, shoot. back when I was working at Radio Shack, man, those were going for
Right?
$100 plus.
Right? You remember how much the MP3 players used to cost?
When they first came out, MP3 players were going for anywhere from 50 on up to what? The really fancy ones, 120 maybe. But
Yeah, I know,
the
but they
cheap
could only
one
hold
on the
like
cheap
50
end,
songs.
yeah, on the cheap end, you could buy one for like 20 to 40 bucks.
So honestly, CD players, everything like that. Hell, I remember a long, long time ago. I probably was maybe 12 or 13, and my dad won a CD player boombox. And it was awesome because we never had the money to get one, and we all wanted one. So it was like, oh, nowadays,
And
if somebody wins a CD player, they're going to be like, what's that? Yeah.
Today's generation, yeah, they would be totally lost.
It's like, what is that? I'm like,
including turntables. And even here at home when I'm doing when I'm DJing online, I'm seriously, because vinyl has made a strong comeback.
Yes, it has.
There are stores out. In fact, we just had a brand new record store open up in Cedar Falls.
Really?
A year or two ago.
Okay.
And they're specializing in vinyl.
Wow.
And a lot of your main street radio stations, they still have a huge library of vinyl.
That's pretty
Any
cool.
radio station that you walk into, they will have a huge library of vinyl.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I've walked into a few radio stations and I see what they have.
But at the same time, that makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah. Because even though they've got most of them will have 3 separate CD decks to operate off of.
Okay.
Because it's no longer just them pulling up a huge library on the computer. They actually have physical CD decks. Plus, there's some stations that will still have the turntables for vinyl.
Actually, that's pretty awesome. I didn't realize.
Oh, yeah. Just because of the fact that, in fact, I remember back a few years ago when I'll think of her just here in a minute. One of our more popular artists in the Pagan community. She came when she released her double vinyl album. She came to me and said, "I'm coming on your show." It's like, okay, whatever you want, hon. No problem.
Oh, that's funny. All righty.
Just to promote her dual vinyl album that she specifically had made.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
sorry, one of the vendors just messaged me. She's like, hey, do you have any lecture spots? I'm like, baby,
what?
Lecture spots. And she's a Gemini, so she loves to talk. I'm so excited. All right. Talk amongst yourself. I want to get back to her real fast because she's been having it real rough.
Okay.
She's just having rough. Everybody's having rough times, Earl.
Yeah, I know. Everybody is. And
this year's just been like, and you're like, I didn't even do anything.
That's a Gemini for you.
What?
That's a Gemini for you.
No, I mean, this year it's been like one thing after another. It's like, God damn, we haven't even done anything yet. We haven't even gotten to the body of the year where there's more mischief. I mean, seriously. Hang on.
Yeah, I know. And I will say that this, like I said, this year is going to be totally different. Both with the vendor side of things and also with the path that I'm following, both my spiritual path, the musical, the entertainment path, and you name it.
Well, after last year, last year was falling apart to fall into place. Okay. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of wreckage and ruin, but a lot of really good stuff came out of it. So, at least you saw the ups and downs really fast instead of just down, up, down, And then this year it's following suit, but it has very much a different quality to it. It's very much, not to use a snaky metaphor, but very much a shedding of the skin. We're growing out of a lot of the stuff that it's not really serving us.
Well, and I have a feeling that I would most likely be on a different path today had I not contracted GBS back in 21.
Okay. Now you're making that up, aren't you? You're making it up.
Nope.
Okay. Nope. What is GBS?
Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Okay. You're making that up. You're using made up words.
Nope. I wound up getting it from the COVID shot. It wound up disabling me for several months and put me in a wheelchair for several months from mid 21 through till early 23. Is early.
Are you messing with me?
No, I'm not, hon. No, I'm not at all.
Holy cow. So what does it do? What does this thing do?
Well, GBS, it's your what it is your immune system attacks your central nervous system.
Oh my God.
And it took away my ability to walk. It took away my ability to use my arms. I couldn't even raise my arms above my head. I was that bad.
All this from a COVID shot?
Yep. I wound up in the hospital for a solid month. And then they wanted me to be in a care facility afterwards, and I refused. Absolutely refused. And that was the EMT side of me speaking out.
Oh, really?
I know what happens in care facilities. I'm like, hell no. It's like, no. We're going home.
Bad. Okay. All right, people, think before you put your loved ones in a care facility, I guess. Damn.
Yeah, because the EMT side of me took over and said, nothing doing. I was taking my chances at home.
That's that is a hell of a thing, though. Can't even raise your arms. And you're like, no, man, I'm going to go home. I'll be fine. They're like,
yeah,
is that bad?
They were hesitant of releasing me to go home. I said, it's my choice. So, but yeah, I have a feeling that I would most likely be on a totally different path today had I not contracted GBS back then, because it took a lot out of my life.
What do you think kind of path would you be on?
Had I not contracted that, I would be a lot stronger, and I would still be in a lot stronger spot with my DJ business. I'd be out and about more, and being able to talk with, attending festivals, attending concerts, whatnot, talking with these performers, musicians, being a lot more active in the community. It took up until this year. I should say, no, it took up until late 23 and 24 to get back to being active in the community again.
Jesus. So you had to rehab yourself?
Yep. And on my own.
I wondered what was going on with you. You were super quiet, and I was like, well, I'm not going to pry, but
Yeah, but well, you remember who was with me at the time.
Yeah.
She totally up and left me on my own after I got out of the hospital.
Why? She didn't seem the type to do that.
Well, she just claimed that it was going to be too much on her to take care of me and the house. So she up and left. So it left me to fend for myself.
She could have at least taken care of the house.
Yeah, I had to pretty much beg and plead for help and support to help. But once I was back up on my feet again, that was early mid 23. I knew at least I could get back to doing what I needed to be doing. Um,
Okay,
and
I got a question. It's gonna be very personal, and you know me.
mhm.
Um, how the fuck did you ever date again? After that, man, I mean, I got trust issues, and then I got more trust issues, and then my
Mhm.
childhood left me with some more trust issues. Nothing really bad, but and I I don't trust anybody in my personal relationships.
I'm right now. I'm the same way. I
You
have
said
trust
you got a girlfriend. How the hell did that happen?
Uh,
I would not have wanted to date. I would have been like, I ain't doing this again. Bye bye.
well, you
Damn.
know, uh, there for a little while, yeah, I had one, but then basically she kind of lied to me about what she was wanting, and yeah, um, that didn't last very long either. So, yeah, I do have trust issues.
I was gonna say that's got to be that Sagittarius in there, because man, I would have been like, nope, never again, never again.
Mhm.
No, when I was on my back for a month, when my back went out when I first opened up the shop, man, I cut a lot of people out of my life, dude, because I found out who was fake and who wasn't.
Mhm.
They never came back. Like those doors were shut tight. It's like
There's only a small few that who I
it's
even
like you can't
communicate
cut
with.
people off. Like damn, because
But
Jesus, that's a pretty serious thing. And then to
yeah,
have somebody go, look, man, it's been awesome, it's been great, but I got a book. It's like, what?
yeah,
I mean, she seemed like a nice enough girl. I enjoyed her company and all that stuff, but for
yeah,
you, that when you're in a weakened position like that and you're vulnerable to kind of have that happen, that's just
yeah. It sucked bad.
good thing you're a
But
fire sign. You
uh,
bounced back. Well done.
yeah. Well, once I started getting in-home PT and OT, uh, they were able to help get me situated and whatnot. And there for quite a while, I was doing my podcast from my recliner.
Yeah.
And I still was able to do my podcast at least. I wanted to keep doing that.
Well, yeah.
So that's what helped get me through.
Out of curiosity, how did your Scorpio rising deal with that?
uh, not too well.
Interesting. I was gonna say because yeah, that's interesting. Huh.
Hmm.
Well, I gotta tell you, man, you got a lot more spunk than I at first accredited to you. I always knew you had spunk, but damn, that is a lot to bounce back from, Earl.
Yeah. Well, needless to say, I've also had to hmm, make my thoughts well known, so to say, and basically let people know that if you want to, if you still support what I'm doing, excellent. If not, see ya.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Oh, sorry.
That that's the way that's the position I had to put myself in.
Damn, dude. Well, hell, man, I gotta salute you though. That's a pretty rough go.
Yeah, and
So,
so with now
I'm,
with being on disability,
but
uh,
still,
it's helping me with getting taking care of things. But
it's, you'd still rather be out doing your own thing and not need it.
right, and
I'm gonna ask, what do you think the spiritual lesson was to all that? To
uh,
getting this syndrome, to changing course so wildly. That was a veer. That wasn't a soft little that was a wah!
yeah.
Oh.
Well, put it this way. I was having several conversations with Odin himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who I turned to.
Okay, makes sense.
And he taught me a valuable lesson that I don't go asking willy-nilly for stuff.
My dad had to learn that same lesson. What is it with you sheepies? Damn, dude.
Well, just due to the fact that he's also associated with freaking Loki, that yeah, he taught me that I don't go to him just for the hell of it. That if I go to him, it's for something specific, and it's got to be something major.
Yeah. Well, he's the All-Father. I mean, he's pretty much don't mess with him, leave him alone.
Right.
I don't phone up any of the death deities unless I have a problem.
Right.
They're like, all right, what's your issue, bitch? I'm like, so, they're like, oh my God. Like,
yeah. But I have to say that I've also come to realize that I've also come to realize that I also have ties to the underworld too. And because when somebody tried to compare me to Hades.
What?
Because I copped an attitude. And somebody tried comparing me to Hades. I'm like, thank you. I resemble the dude, and I respect the dude.
I was gonna say, wow, okay.
Nelson say she didn't have a comeback for that.
Yeah, I bet. Interesting.
Yeah, so with there's still a lot of things I'm figuring out yet, because I don't have everything figured out. I don't think I ever will.
Yeah, that's
because no matter what path that you're on, you're always learning, and you're never going to have everything figured out. Because I have the Native American path I'm following, my pagan path, wolf path, and also my other spiritual path. Yeah. So yeah, basically I'm following several paths that and I know that eventually everything is going to merge into at least one big one, I hope.
Well, the other thing I was going to mention, I had heard a while back, and I think it was Michelle Stoltz that mentioned it to me, but every shaman within the Native American thing, they have to go through a huge illness or life or death injury or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they walk on from there, and that is part of their path. I forget what she has, but she is a shaman, and she had something really, really hard happen with her health. Actually, yeah, I believe it's ongoing. And that's how she knew that was the path she was meant to take. And I wanted to talk to you about it since you are part Native American. I'm wondering, do you think the GBS was that thing?
Possibly. Now that you've mentioned that, yeah, it's very well possible.
I mean, apparently the shamans get a chair taken to them early on. Just
Ever since when I started exploring things back in 2007, several intuitive friends of mine back then, they all said that the path I was on, I've been on a path of a healer.
Okay.
And
so
being an EMT, being a first responder, whatnot, that all coincides.
What do you think you'll specialize in with healing? Or what do you think will you not specialize? Specialize is the wrong term. Focus
right.
on.
the one thing I'm still focusing on, because back then I didn't have to use tarot cards. I could use my own senses and the gifts I was given to be able to help, really being intuitive to help people. And even though that side is kind of laying dormant now for a little while, I'm hoping to get back to that.
Okay. Well, I think it might be good though, because it's teaching you to use a different set of tools. Because I will tell you, doing readings without some sort of buffer, that takes quite a toll, Earl. And that actually, I remember when I was first getting into doing readings, and I sat down with a lady I really respected. I believe her trade name is Mojo Mama. Redhead. Love her to pieces. Her and her man are just, well, her guy has since passed away. It's really too bad because he was absolute rock star soul. And she's amazing, you know. But she sat me down. She's like, Alicia, there's going to be a cost, okay? I started doing readings. My hair's falling out. My teeth are all rotting away. You know, I haven't changed my diet. I haven't changed anything else. This does eat at you. And, you know, I told her, I'm like, no, I'm not in this just to be in this. I'm not. It's because I got to support my kid. I've always had the gift. The reading is always on. I use it in sales and to get by in life and everything. But she was correct. It does take its toll. But what I have found, if you can actually buffer it with cards or with something physical, that way you don't dive too deep into the other person, it lessens some of the damage.
Yeah. And also with me being empathic.
Oh God. Yeah, I know. That's you know, I always,
you know what I was gonna say.
Dude, it is the gift that you wish came with a return receipt. The only reason why I'm enjoying my empath side is because of my kid.
Yeah.
Because I can literally, he's mostly nonverbal, so I can feel what's going on and go get it done.
Yeah. And back when I had the very first sign that of my empathic abilities, back then I didn't know what the hell it was. But
when
this was back in the 80s when I was running as an EMT. And
oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a horrible place for it to bloom.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was what? 20s, 30s, maybe. The late, let's see. Because I started off back in 88.
Okay.
And I know that I had to be in my late 20s back when I first started. But we got tripped out to do a routine transfer from our care facility into Des Moines.
Okay.
And about midway between Prairie City and Des Moines, I get this voice in my head saying that we're not supposed to be doing this.
It's like, dude, wrong time.
Yeah. And I just thought, what the fuck? It's like, it kept nagging at me. And all while I was talking to the hospital, I just kept having this nagging feeling. I could hear our dispatcher on our home frequency, but couldn't really tell what was being said because I was too focused on other stuff. By the time we got done at the hospital and headed back home, and I called in on the radio, and that's when our dispatcher told me that there had been a major 2-car collision behind us after we left town.
Okay.
And I watched both Life Flight and Mercy Air Care going out. We set a new speed record from downtown Des Moines back home to Prairie City that day. Because basically all I could do is tell our driver, just get us home now. Get us home. And by the time we got there, both helicopters were on the ground. We had some of our personnel. In fact, my own mom was in the car with the mother and her kids that got hit. His mom was also on our ambulance at the time too. Mom had been a first responder for a good many years, and before I started, yeah. Mom was a first responder. Dad was on the fire department, so I grew up into it.
Okay, all right.
So that day, unfortunately, we wound up losing the mother and a daughter from the vehicle that got hit.
Jesus.
And all I could think about is the voice that was in my head that whole entire time. Yeah. Telling me we're not supposed to be doing this. And I guess had I been listening, because I blamed myself for this for a long time. Had I been listening, I could have called ahead for a paramedic unit to come meet us. They could have taken our patient, gone the rest of the way to Des Moines. We could have gone back home.
Yeah. But at the same time, you didn't know this. No. I'm guessing you weren't raised with this stuff, you know?
No, I wasn't. And it was, like I said, it wasn't until 2007 when my gift kicked in after Dad passed.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, did you have any instances before when you were younger? Because normally it manifests young.
Mm-hmm. That was the first time back when I was running as an EMT, but it wasn't until 2007 after Dad passed that my abilities kicked in. And that's also when I was having visits from my great-great-grandfather, Native American chief.
Jesus. Okay. So basically it was like, okay, so starting down this road, we're going to hit the gas as fast as we can, huh? Mm-hmm. It's just like, let's just go. Damn.
Yeah. And the funny part is after Dad passed, I went back home again for, I think it was Thanksgiving. And my two older brothers had the house torn apart, redoing things. The minute I walked in the door, Dad was yelling at me.
You're like, hey, dude, I'm like, not in this.
Hold it, back up. It's like,
I just got home.
I'm like, Dad, I just got home. Let me figure out what the hell's going on. I could hear him plain as day yelling at me because they were not doing things the way he wanted.
Okay.
And it's like, I'm like, dude, it's like, Dad, this wasn't my idea. Stop yelling at me.
Yeah. And actually, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. Your experience, your first burgeoning experience with the psychic phenomena, and then would you mind doing articles on those?
Yeah, that I can do.
Because it gives people an idea, because you're not the only one that's gone through this.
Oh, I know.
So that's one of the things I want people to understand, that it's okay. You're not alone. Messed up stuff happens to all of us.
And the one vision that still sticks with me, that Dad came to me in my dreams after he passed as well. And the vision that he was showing me was when we were remodeling my brother's house next door. And I could see, basically I could see his face and then him holding two phone receivers.
Okay.
One in each hand.
Okay.
And I'm still yet trying to figure that one out. Whether he's wanting me to be the one to tell the family what the hell's going on, or what. So that one I'm still working on.
I was going to say, when I talk to my guides, I'm psionically deaf. I don't hear. So they're over there going, da 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 da. I'm like, no, it's like, I can't hear you. You're going to have to. And so what they do is they'll spell it out in front of me in words. or it's interpretive dance, or
Mm-hmm.
it's that weird, I don't know if you've experienced it, but that weird kind of, it's a thought, a metaphor, an idea, and it's all just kind of shoved into your head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, but one of the things I had been talking with Antoinette about is like they want me to pick up the phone. Basically, they need me to pick up the phone, and that very much is what that sounds like with you. He wants you to pick up the phone so he can call you. Be like, okay, kid, this is what I need done. This is where the $1 million is stashed, whatever, you know. So that sounds to me either like he wants you to pick up the phone or he's trying to connect you with somebody else. Because if he's holding both receivers, and he's not holding one up to his ear, is he?
No.
He's not doing this.
Nope.
So if he's holding both, then that means he's trying to connect to something else. At least that's what that's telling me. But ask your guides.
Yep. So
So
I have been through a great deal.
yeah, that sounds like it. Jesus. Well, man, I mean, I salute you. You stayed perky.
Mm.
You kept going.
Yep. So needless to say, this year I've decided to get back to the pagan path and doing what we're doing on Thursdays. Trying to get back to doing the Pagan Artist Spotlight podcast. And
I promise you, once I'm feeling better, I'll be more of a regular on that. But I'm just, I'm driving on the track and the car's on fire.
But yeah, the podcasting side of things, being a DJ online, I'm really finding that I'm enjoying that a lot more than going out and doing weddings, because that takes a toll on me.
I bet.
But by the time that I get done with a wedding, my energy is just gone.
Yeah. No,
and it takes me a full 2 to 3 days to recover.
Okay.
Whereas it would only take me maybe a day to recover back when I was younger. Because back then I could drag myself home at the crack of dawn, go to bed for a little while and be okay, I'm ready to roll again. But nowadays, no. I just find I can't do it anymore.
Once you get hurt, once you get sick, you got to adjust to a new normal, no matter the age. And that's shitty, you know. And I don't know about you, but I've always been a workaholic.
Same here.
And figuring out that you have to slow down or you're going to stop is probably the hardest part.
Yeah, because I had this vision in my head that I thought I would still have a good 5 years left in me to do the DJ work, but I wanted to have my own event facility.
Yeah.
So people can come to me instead of me going to them.
Yeah.
I still have that vision if I can make it happen.
Well, also too, you can do your own rules. It'll give you some leeway, everything like that.
Yep. So, yeah. But I've decided that I'm going to be focusing more on community events and doing festivals, because that's more my speed.
No, I get it. Believe me, I get it. Paths are changing.
I'm definitely looking forward to next weekend so that, I can be there with everybody.
My question is, now what are you going to be doing exactly there? I know you're going to be doing the, because the mall has sound speakers, so I don't know how that's going to work with the DJ thing, but
I'll still be able to run my own sound system. Basically, I'm not going to have it cranked. I'm just going to be doing background music, just like what I was doing at the fairgrounds.
I was going to say, you're still going to be announcing all the lectures and the performers and stuff.
Yep.
And then you're going to be playing the belly dancers music. You're going to be in charge of that.
Yep.
We're down to one belly dance troupe, so.
Oh, okay. I should try to. Well, I know it's gonna be last minute. I don't know if I'd be able to get in touch with some Native American dancers or not?
That would be great if you could.
Um, Because we actually, okay, I'd have to contact the people down at Tama, for one, see what I can round up there. Tama is our closest Native American community that we have.
If not for this one, try it for the October one.
Yeah, definitely. I have a feeling I'd be able to get it lined up for October.
Because what I'd love to do, kind of like they do with the powwow, but not quite to their extent. I'd love to do the taiko drums. That will get them all ringing. They'll be like, Alicia. I'll be like, yes. But no, and then I would love to get Hawaiian dancers out.
That could be done too.
No, my Aunt Nancy, she is actually Japanese Hawaiian. She grew up in Hawaii. And I would love to have them out. I've always thought it's an absolutely beautiful style.
Yeah, because typically, traditionally wise, the Hawaiian dancers do something similar to Native American dancers, because the traditional Hawaiian dancers are also right. They also come from native tribes.
Well, I think it's really pretty, and I mean, Nancy's always had some choice stuff to say about it. Okay, but but
just don't be tossing me under the bus.
But I've always thought it's very pretty, and I would love to see it done. So
yeah, I have a feeling that if I were to get some Native American dancers in there doing the traditional grass dance, smoke dance, you name it, yeah, I know that that would get them all. That would get them all going.
Well, I think it would be really fun. I don't want to push any envelopes because they've been super sweet to me and super nice. But I would like some different stuff in there. Belly dance is great. And, I got mad love for the belly dancers, but I want some other stuff in there too.
Right.
We're not going to have Des Moines drummers this time, unfortunately. That'll probably be for October. But everybody's this year has been really rough so far. We're coming off a rough winter, a rough last year, and this year has just it's whooping everybody's ass. Everybody's just like, we're sorry. I've had a lot of vendor cancellations just because they can't make it. They're either sick or they're moving all of a sudden. Well, look at poor Katie Walker. She's had to move her business 3 or 4 times in the past 6 months. It's like, woo! We're all just kind of holding on to that one little board in a tornado, So it's going to be crazy, but I think by October we're going to have settled out. Everything's kind of going to even out a little bit. So
yep. And basically I'm not going to have it in time for this or for next weekend, but for October I will definitely have a lot of single copies for display of Today's Witch magazine.
Awesome.
So that way I can display those for everybody, get people lined up, or to hype that up and get people subscribing. And
okay.
And then also, like I said, also promoting Pagan Artist Spotlight. Also, also my just podcasting in general, because I do podcasting 101 as a class.
And actually, that's another thing. Do you have that available on your website, and have you put it up for online, like an online class?
Yep, I'm getting all that put together. Because right now, what I offer is my coaching and Basically, the way I've got it worded is podcast support,
Okay.
and also coaching and consultant work,
Right.
so that I can help small business owners develop their own as well as individuals, and especially for small business owners who are not aware that by doing a podcast of their own or doing just short videos to help promote their business
Well,
can
and
double their traffic.
the other thing is it's about consistency too. You can post inconsistently for years and it probably won't help, but you start consistently posting,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to change things. Oh,
Yeah.
that's another thing. Are you good at getting people to subscribe to magazines?
Well, because basically by promoting the magazine I'm a part of, Today's Witch, yes, and also by doing yours as well.
I was going to say, so Earl, Earl.
Yep. So,
I
uh,
got 2 magazines almost done. So I'm going to have you promote them so we can
mhm,
sell lots of copies and get subscribers and do new stuff.
yep.
And the
So
nice thing about having a shop is,
I'll definitely be doing that on both the Pagan Artist Spotlight and also the Midwest Plainsman.
okay. Now, I also wanted to ask you, in future issues of the Alicia's Desk, the sci-fi fantasy horror magazine, would you like to do different science fiction book reviews?
Yep, that I can do as well.
Okay.
Is I've already done the one book review for you on and I'll do here.
I know. I when when I get a little more cash, I've got to get a copy of the book because I actually want a copy.
Because this was sent to me.
Okay.
Because I'm still getting a interview with the author lined up.
Okay.
But yeah, anybody out there who basically lives and breathes crystals,
Yeah.
yeah, this is the book for you. Crystals for Psychic Self-Defense. 145 gemstones for banishing, binding, and magical protection.
Well, honey, you know me. I am all about the shiny crystals. I swear to God, I next lifetime I'm going to reincarnate as a big ass clear quartz in a cave somewhere, and nobody's gonna bother me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, I've seen the sizes of some of these quartz crystals and the rose crystals that are about 4 foot high. I'm like, damn.
Oh, I love them though. And you know, my favorite is clear quartz, but I love celestite. I love Larimar. I really like them all, but you know, it's so nice, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
being right in
The
there. One of
one
the
thing
things,
the one thing that if I had the money to do it and I have my own center, basically I would be yeah, I would definitely have some quartz pillars. I mean, full length pillars.
yeah, you got to put some selenite on them though to keep them clean. Anyway, hon, I am gonna cut this off because I want to close my eyes for a little bit. They're killing me. So, thank you for coming on, and I can't wait to see you out there this weekend. And
Yeah,
yeah,
and remind folks that yeah, if they would like to assist me with gas money and also place for me to crash, that would
place
be
for you to
helpful.
crash. I have no clue on.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they just want to help donate,
Okay.
so that yeah, that would help because I can just give everybody my Venmo and website, whatnot. So that'll work.
Okay. Um, do. There's something else I was gonna ask you. It's gone. I am super tired. I am just, yeah. You know how it is, right close to event chaos.
Mm-hmm. But
Although I
yeah,
will,
I will definitely be taking care of music announcements, doing a guest book also advertising for Today's Witch magazine. Also, like I said, my own podcast, doing everything for Des Moines New Age. And
by the way, folks, he's
doing some readings as well. So
he's going to do all this in a glittery mesh shirt.
No. No.
It's stretchy. It's part of the uniform this year. I'm putting Dennis in one too. Don't worry. It's the male uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you don't get a vest. You're just like, why? Anyways. Well, I am going to be excited. It's all coming together. I'm really excited for this. And a lot of my vendors are really excited for the October one too. So
good deal.
I'm getting a lot of good feedback. So fingers crossed. Thanks, Earl.
Yeah, you are very welcome.
I appreciate you coming on, but I'm going to go rest my eyes because I'm over here like.
All right. Pleasant journeys, everyone.
All right, folks. That was Earl, and you guys can come out and see him this coming weekend. Not this weekend, but the coming weekend, March 21st, 22nd, 23rd, out at Merle Hay Mall for the Des Moines New Age and Psychic Fair Spring Equinox Edition. All right. Toodles.